Right, so this is a learner profile for one of my students called Patrick, based on the 10 characteristics described by Stern. Just about Patrick in general, he is, when I first met him 3 years ago, he was a total beginner, actually a real beginner, and he had been asked about, had been asked, he had changed jobs, he'd been promoted, and in his new role, he needed English. So he was extremely motivated because unless he had English, he wouldn't be able to do his job. Um, Another quite important element, quite important characteristic about Patrick is that he is in his mid to late 50s, so he's a senior learner, which, well, for certain of the criteria described by Stern, it does have an impact. Alright, so the first criteria mentioned by Stern is personal learning style, which Patrick has. He's very fond of CD-ROMs or any sort of interactive game or any interactive activity. Really, he gets more out of that than I think anything you could present him in a standard textbook form. And he's aware of this, and so he actively goes out of his way to try and find new websites or CD-ROMs which he brings in to show me and show me what he's done and do I think this is a good idea. So yeah, he's definitely got his own personal learning style. Second point is, does he have an active approach to the task? Yes, definitely. Um, he's always very, very willing, always participates at 100%. Particularly if it's a real situation. So, for example, going to a hotel or hiring a car, and he always tries. Which brings me on to the third point, which is they have a tolerant approach. And again, yes, he tries 100%, even when he knows what he's doing is a challenge for him. Fourth point that Esther mentions is technical know-how of how to learn a language. Patrick doesn't have this because, as I said, it's a long time since he learned English. And when he did learn English, it was really quite a traumatizing experience for him, and he was traumatized. So from that point of view, no, he doesn't have this characteristic. But I wouldn't say it's a big handicap to him because he's aware of it and he still tries really, really hard. So then the fifth point is the strategy of mentioned strategies of experimentation. So do they experiment with the language? Yes, but only at a written level. It's almost impossible to get Patrick to speak. In 3 years that we've been having lessons, I think I maybe had a handful of exchanges with him in English. I'm sure if written exchanges, no problem. Orally, he just blocks completely and totally. But again, maybe some people would see that as it's quite a negative um, characteristic and one that you shouldn't really have with a good learner. But I don't think it would obviously be better if you could just take that step and get over the fear and just speak. But considering all the effort that he puts into this, the work, the the efforts for written, I don't really see. Uh, Nobody's perfect. All right, so then that's linked as well to the willingness to practice. He's willing to practice at written level, not orally. only if we role play a real life situation like a hotel, or like I said before, like a hotel, renting a car, then he's willing to try, or not even to try, then he's willing to speak. But otherwise, it doesn't happen. Um, so then the last 2 points are self-monitoring and critical sensitivity. Um, he has, well, Patrick is very, very self-aware of his language learning abilities. I think sometimes he's maybe too aware and he's too critical of himself. Um, but yeah, he's very aware and very independent. And then for the last one, the point is it develops the target language more and more as a separate reference system. And yes, he does. Over time, the first 2 years that I had Patrick, it was clear that it was English in French, or French and English, I don't know, but you kind of get my point. Now, definitely, English is a part. So that's my profile of Patrick, and I found all of you very interesting. Okay, bye bye.